first of all, what was the problem that you were having when you started your search for rental software?
Well, our old system, well, the previous system, my partner and I bought this business beginning of last year, and the system that they had in the business was like really antiquated. So, we needed a bespoke system that could work for our rental business because that's what we predominantly are. But also, it needed to be able to do cash sales, and it needed to be able to do workshops and spare parts, etc. So we were having the discussion and basically going to start our process of looking for a system when Bernice phoned. And then we agreed to go through the whole sort of introduction and, where Bernice and Brian did the whole sort of selling presentation to us. And we immediately warmed to them, and we really liked the system. And we felt that the system could work easily for us. Yeah. So from there, it was easy.
All right. Well, we like when things are easy. Let's go back initially. So was there ever a point or was there a specific point when you realized the old software wasn't working, and you got frustrated, or was it just a case of you'd come into the business, you were evaluating it, and you were just like, okay, well, I don't think this is going to work for us. Let's look for other things.
No, the biggest reason why we wanted to change is there was absolutely no backup for the previous system that we had. And that for us was a big issue, because as the business grows, if there's no backup for the system, then you're going to run into trouble. So we felt that before we grew the business any further, we better make the change. And we wanted a system where we knew we would get the backup. That was probably one of the most important things for us was backup. In terms of if anything went wrong, it needed to be just a phone call or an email and things get sorted out.
For sure. Yeah. I doing anything without any kind of backup is a very dangerous proposition.
Yeah, very. So that was the single biggest deciding factor.
Okay. Is that why you chose Point of Rental? Is it just the relationship that you developed with Brian and Bernice and just feeling like the software worked, or why did you choose Point of Rental specifically?
Well, I think, Brian and Bernice did a very good selling job on us, I suppose. That was the starting point. And we kind of connected with them, and we just felt that their system sort of looked very sort of user-friendly. And Brian and Bernice both sort of explained to us in terms of how their whole support structure worked, et cetera, et cetera. And we got a lot of comfort from how they explained Point of Rental works. And so from there, we decided to give it a go with Point of Rental.
Awesome. And you guys are in South Africa, right?
Yes, we Cape Town based.
Okay. So how important was it to you to have a team that's, relatively local?
I suppose not really that important because, our experiences up to now, they've been great with Brian and Bernice, but I can tell you, old Ozzy sitting in London has been absolutely brilliant. She was the sort of project manager that sort of held our hand through the beginning part of it. And we just had one Zoom call after the next, and it was, it was so easy. So to be honest with you, Brian, it wasn't a prerequisite that they had to be sort of South Africa based. The prerequisite was they had to be available when we needed them if we had a problem. Yeah. So, right across the board, everybody from, as I said, Ozzy, Stevie, Bernice, Brian, Matt, Alex, James, Phil, all of them it's just been a fantastic experience implementing the system, and it's just been really easy.
Awesome. I like that it looked like you had a list of them there. So it's like, all right, we got my list of Point of Rental people.
I've got my full list of Point of Rental people. Yeah.
All right. Was there a specific moment where you realized our product and or team was really doing exactly what you were looking for from Point of Rental?
Pretty much from the first, once we implemented the system, from the very first training session, okay, we were extremely comfortable with the way they were taking us through the process. So we would do sort of hour and a half training sessions. And the great part is they were very accommodating in terms of setting up the training sessions for times that suited us, because we could really only do it after hours. And just the way they held our hands, how they took us through the whole process. How they trained our staff was brilliant. And it was a very, very easy, seamless transition.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about the software a bit. Do you have any specific results to point to since implementing Syrinx that's benefited your business? Do you have any like specific income increases, efficiency increases, volume increases since expanding that we can point to and claim credit for, basically?
Well, I mean, we've had quite significant growth in our business over the last couple of months. And, having the point of rental system has really made it easy for us to load new products onto the system, to load new customers onto the system. It's just right across the board. It's made it easier for us to do business. It's made it quicker. So wasn't as sort of cumbersome to do the business. And I think all that played quite a massive role, because a key part of our business, we're in a competitive environment. So, you can't wait days or 2 days or whatever to get a quote and stuff through to customers. You need to be able to do it very quickly. And that's one of the things on the point of rental system. It was just very quick and easy to load customers onto the system, to load new products onto the system, to load suppliers onto the system, and to generate quotes, purchase orders, etc. So I think as an all-round package, it's made our lives a lot easier. And as I said, our business has grown 45% over the last sort of 8 to 12 months.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that like as a person myself, like if I have to wait like a few hours, it's like, nah, we're looking for something else. I actually got in trouble yesterday for that.
Because people phone us for a quote, and if you don't give them the quote immediately, well, by the time you go back, then they've got another quote.
Yep. Okay, what value do you get personally in your position from the software? Where does it benefit you the most?
Well, it's very easy for me to keep a handle on the business. So I can see every single day what our daily highs are. I can see what our forecasted revenue is going to be. I can see exactly what's happening from a stock point of view. I can see what equipment which customers got out there in the marketplace. So yeah, it's really just click of a button. I'm on the system and I can see exactly what I need to see. I've set up my couple of favorite reports, and every single day I can check what's happening with ease.
Awesome. Are you allowed to share your favorite reports? I always like to get very specific.
I think the daily income report is hell of important for me. And then also what equipment's out on hire. And also the equipment utilization. Those are probably the three sort of most important reports for me.
All right. Yeah, those sound pretty important to me. So I like to know about my money and where my stuff is. So yeah. Okay. That sounds like it might be the answer to this next question, but I have it on my list. I'm going to ask it anyway. What is your favorite thing about Point of Rental?
It's just the ease of use, how easy it is to use, and how easy it is to sort of modify to suit our business. In the sense that if I need something, it's an email to the support team, and I get an answer within the same day. And that for me is just the best thing ever. Is how easy it is to use the system, and how quickly I get a response when I need it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're getting those quick responses. If someone in your industry were looking for a new software to manage their business, let's say they're not a direct competitor like in your market, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them to go with Point of Rental without a doubt. I got a phone call from one of our suppliers not long after we introduced Point of Rental. And they, obviously Bernice must have seen them, but they were considering Point of Rental, and I just said it's a no-brainer. They were on the same system as us, as our old system. And it was easy for me to say to them, it'll be the absolute seamless transition to go from the system that you're currently on to Point of Rental. And our experiences have only been fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I like that you guys are creating a little cohort, a little group of, we've gone from this one to this one. We know it works. And yeah. Okay. Can you try to summarize your Point of Rental experience in about 30 seconds? Basically everything you've said so far, pretend that we're doing like a thing that we need a quick clip.
Okay, I'll try and do it very quickly. No, it's, from day one, from when Bernice contacted me the first time and basically gave me a high level overview of the system. I just knew from that day that it was something that we needed to explore, to the point where Brian and Bernice did their whole sort of, let's call it, selling of the system to us, where they showed us exactly how the system can work. We just knew that it was the right system for us. But I think the most important thing for me is how easy it was to implement the system. What a great job the support team did in terms of training my team, the way Ozzy managed the whole project. And then, after the system had been implemented and we had gone live, how available the whole point of rental team were in terms of answering any one of our queries, resolving our queries. And if there were any changes that we needed to make to the system, they were very open and obliging in terms of making the adjustments and doing things that suited our business. So, overall, it's just been an amazing experience. And I think, as I said to you right in the beginning, Brian, is, it's never easy to implement a new system in your business. And implementing point of rental in our business has just been incredibly seamless and easy and hassle free. So, to the whole team, from Bernice introducing us to point of rental, to Brian, to Ozzy, to the whole lot, it's been an incredible experience. And yeah, we're just really enjoying the system and what it can do for us.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. This will be the end of the part that we save for the case study, and then I'm going to have a couple more questions that I like to ask everyone. But thank you for joining us today, Gary. And uh, all right, now I'm going to ask the other questions. So there's one question I always like to ask is, what can we do better? Because we are trying to improve, and that way I can bring your feedback back to the team. I have you on camera saying that you'd like this.
Okay, I mean, I think, well, my experiences have been really good. So I suppose there's not much, and I think I've kind of like learned to navigate through the system quite easily myself.
Okay.
But yeah, there's not a hell of a lot I can say, because I'm getting such great service anyway. And I mean, just a little example is, we were asking Bernice if we could do, we want to set up a new business, and we were asking her how we could set it up in Syrinx without having to go and spend a whole pile more money, kind of thing. Yeah, and her and Brian have been incredible in terms of how they've come back and they've sort of guided us and advised us and say, but this is how you should look at doing things. So overall, it's just, there's not much more that I can say, because we've had a great experience.
All right. Well, I mean, even if you're having a great experience, there's always like, I just want this little extra, but that's okay. Whenever you have something, then I'm sure you'll let us know. Um, the other question is, like, what parts of the software or rental processes overall would you say your company is awesome at? Like, if we were to be able to come to Reynolds Tire and check out what you guys are doing, and we wanted to show off whatever process to the world and how you're using Syrinx to run it, um, what would we go see?
Our quoting system, how easy it is and how quick it is to be able to quote the customer, to be able to pull up the customer's information, and immediately to be able to put a quote together. It really is just, we can do it very quickly. And while the customer's standing at our counter, they get their quote. It's not a case of, okay, we'll come back to you. It's immediate.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for sitting here with me for the past however long we've been doing this. I don't have a camera on here or a clock here. Yeah, I'll try to edit this video, and I'll write up a case study, and I'll let you check it out before we publish it.
Perfect. Great stuff.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Brian.
All right, bye.
Yes, bye.